Hi everyone, Bradley here at Servers.com. I am here with David, co-founder and CEO of Limelight. David, if we could start with who Limelight are and what you guys do.
So Limelight is a software company, effectively, that provides our partners with tools to build their own ad exchanges. They can be an SSP, a DSP, act in the way that they want in the ecosystem. So we white label that for them, and we have 120 partners now globally, and a massive cloud infrastructure that keeps growing and growing and growing.
Absolutely. I think that's one of the big themes that we've seen, particularly this week. Well, one of them is AI, who would have thought. I think the other side of it that we've seen is companies are really trying to go out of their way now to understand the options that they have when it comes to infrastructure, right? I think, probably the last 5 to 10 years, it was almost the standard of we use the big cloud providers because they're just there. They can scale whenever we need them to. But I think that viewpoint across the industry actually is starting to change. Is that something that you've seen similar from your side?
From day one, when we started building the company, everything was always bare metal servers. So we don't go for some of the higher level AWS type services. Our tech team manage all of the kind of value add that AWS would put onto that, which means we can work with you guys. We get a much more cost efficient solution by doing so. The challenges for us in the recent kind of times have been about being able to get hardware, right? So, the challenge of buying computer chips. But you guys are great, and you've helped us out. I know very recently we've talked about that. And also kind of global distribution, different costs in different part of the world. And we've worked a lot on that as well with you guys, and you've solved for us there. So our challenges are kind of solved now. We work, to be fair, with 4 different hosting partners, but I know that our footprint with you guys is growing massively.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think you're absolutely right there. I think one of the big parts we've seen of that is supply chain. Without a doubt, was impacted kind of post COVID, and then is started to recover. But we're still seeing, between tariffs and everything else, it does get impacted quite heavily. From looking at it from a completely Limelight perspective, for the next, say, 12 to 24 months, is there something in particular that you're working on or that your customers are asking of you that you're quite excited to kind of see?
Within the platform itself, we're building now tools that are far more kind of data heavy, more processing heavy. AI is adding to that, of course. Other automations are adding to that. So, sometimes you feel like the infrastructure is growing and the revenue doesn't necessarily match it, and then you see it come later on. You get the revenue kick afterwards, which is great. Yeah. So it's just about, the world now enables you to build really intelligent tools. And so, that means that you need to have a really solid foundation. And we found that, which is great. Also, one of the concerns we have is data, and pushing data between data centers and stuff like that can be a costly thing. So we're constantly working on how we can solve to that. It's really about the new wave of abilities that are coming with AI and other bits and pieces that mean that the solution just becomes a lot more CPU heavy.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Of course, that means more servers, more powerful.
I guess that's good for you, right?
Never a bad thing. It is never a bad thing. Absolutely. No, that's the interesting with AI is it's going to kind of take 2 directions from what I see. I think you're going to get more of the process-driven requirements, which will require bigger CPUs, more servers. But we're also seeing a lot of companies moving more into the machine learning, the ML, large language models, part of AI, where GPU usage is going to skyrocket. Hence why, obviously, NVIDIA are doing quite well at the moment. So it's an interesting, I think, pivotal moment of where we are with the industry, and even as a technology sector, so like which way it's going to move, which way it's going to shift. And again, I think it's going to come down to each individual company and how they decide to address AI is then.
I don't even think there's going to be a paradigm shift, and I don't even think we're seeing the grassroots of it yet, right? So it's hard sometimes to imagine what the future is going to be like in just 2 or 3 years. We're going to see huge changes. But that's exciting. That's great. That's why I'm in the business that I'm in, because it changes all the time.
It's fun, right? It keeps us young. Fantastic. David, really appreciate it.
Always a pleasure, man.